Hey there and welcome back to XCOM. My name is Pete and today we complete episode 20 of our XCOM Enemy Within Ironman Impossible walkthrough. And since it is episode 20, we will celebrate accordingly, as I have planned another small giveaway. We have done this before and we will do it in the exact same way this time, as I will be gifting one Steam copy of the XCOM Enemy Unknown Complete Pack to one lucky person in the comments. That pack includes the PC version of the base game Enemy Unknown as well as all DLC for the game, including of course Enemy Within. All that you have to do to enter is to leave a comment down below including the phrase giveaway, that way I can filter out all other comments and avoid gifting the game to anyone who already owns it or to someone who does not want to participate. The winner will then be announced in the next episode in approximately 1 week, and you can also once again find all the info for the giveaway in the description and in my pinned comment down below. So good luck to everyone, and with that out of the way, let's jump right into the action. In the last episode we completed the Gangplank mission, the third and final mission of the Operation Slingshot DLC. We ran into and killed our first cyber disk, and we left the alien battleship with a ton of interesting loot. And to start things off today, we will actually sell some of that loot because, as you can see in the top right corner, we are a little short on funds. While we head over to the grey market, you can also catch a quick peek of the current panic situation, and feel free to pause the video here if you want to examine that further. In the meantime, we are moving on to the grey market, where we will sell all but 4 sectoid corpses and all but 7 thin man corpses. So in total we are already selling 61 corpses here for a total of 305 credits, but we're not done yet. A bit further down we also have 2 alien stasis tanks, and as you can see in the description on the right side, those can be sold freely as they have no research benefit. So for 10 credits per tank we will gladly do that and then move on to the alien surgery. Just like the stasis tank, it can't be used for anything else, so let's sell it, and its value of 25 credits brings our grand total up to 350. That is slightly less than what we normally make in XCOM funding in an entire month, but we also have a few projects left to complete here in May, and we'll need some cash for pretty much all of them. And one such project, that is the completion of the Foundry, which, as you can see in the bottom right corner, is not too far away. So let's start scanning and see if anything else comes up in the meantime.
Excavation. Foundry online.
Alright, the Foundry finishes without any interruptions, and that means we can in just a moment spend a large chunk of the money we just made.
The new engineers arrived this morning, Commander. We're always glad to have more help down here.
Now, before we head over to the Foundry though, we also just had 2 excavations complete, and so apart from only 1 tile, the entire 3rd floor is now excavated, and since we have the cash to spare, let's start working on that last spot as well. However, that is not all we do. On the left side over here, we will now start the construction of the Genetics Lab. This is another facility that was introduced in Enemy Within, and it is more or less the counterpart to the Cybernetics Lab, only instead of turning soldiers into fully fledged robots, we can improve them with what is called gene mods. Gene mods can grant a wide array of bonuses, from aim improvements to shortened recovery times, but I think we'll talk a bit more in detail about them once the facility is up and running. Constructing the lab also puts us very close to the power limit again, so we will very likely put down a generator in the next few days. For now though, we can visit the Foundry. Now, in an earlier episode I said that the Foundry is similar to the officer training school. However, instead of purchasing bonuses that directly go to our soldiers, we instead buy upgrades to modify and improve their equipment. You can see it here, for example, with upgrades for the pistol or the scope, but the one that we will go after, for the pretty hefty price tag of 200 credits, that is tactical rigging. This is, in my opinion, one of the best upgrades in the game, because it unlocks a secondary item slot for every single one of our soldiers. Someone like our heavy Andrea Cook could carry not 1 but 2 grenades, and Emilia, for example, could carry another medkit. So very useful, especially once we start unlocking more and more items down the line, even though the project does not complete instantly but instead takes 7 days to finish.
I'll send word to the Foundry crews now. You can follow their progress remotely from the project queue in engineering.
So our engineering staff is busy and we have nothing else to take care of at the moment, and that means we can continue scanning.
Commander, Our intelligence sources indicate that a previously unknown organization is attempting to undermine XCOM field operations. We believe this group harbors some misguided sympathies for the invaders and is intent on acquiring alien technology and artifacts critical to your efforts. Early reports indicate this organization calls itself Exalt. We trust you will isolate the source of this new threat and eliminate it.
Commander, the Council has provided some additional resources to help us deal with these traitors. We can begin scanning for additional Exalt cell locations and launch covert operations to disrupt their activity via the Situation Room.
Right, and so a brand new threat emerges. Next to the aliens, we now also have Exalt to worry about, who start things off with a sabotage operation draining 100 credits from our funds. This is of course very unfortunate and far from the only time that we will meet Exalt in this game. This underground organization works in cells all across the globe, and until we locate and neutralize their base, they will continue to carry out these anti-XCOM operations. To make matters worse, Exalt is working in the shadows, so their cells are oftentimes only visible when they strike. That, however, is something that we definitely want to prevent, and we can at least in part do that by launching so-called intel scans. For a small price, we can use those scans to reveal hidden Exalt cells, at which point we have the option to launch a covert operation. And that is exactly what we can do now in India, as an Exalt cell has revealed itself there, and now the big question is, who do we send on that covert operation? For a covert operation, we can only ever send one single soldier, and because that soldier is infiltrating the Exalt cell, he or she can of course not run around with heavy armor and an assault rifle. Instead, a covert operative can use no armor at all and is restricted to only the pistol. Additionally, soldiers in the heavy class and mech troopers cannot be selected as covert operatives, which realistically brings our list of potential candidates down to only 4. We could send in Assault Adam Work as a close combat specialist who can shoot twice per turn. We could also send in Sniper Resilience as a stealthy scout with high aim. Alternatively, we have Emilia as our fast-moving support, or Sniper George Teasdale. However, I think the candidate best suited for this mission that would be Resilius. Half cover counts as full for him, he has the battle scanner, his aim is off the charts, and with double tap he could potentially shoot twice per turn. Additionally, we also have a second sniper in George Teasdale to fill his role while he's gone, so equipped with only a laser pistol and a scope, we will now send Resilius off to India.
Covert operative deployed to disrupt Exalt.
We're monitoring several contacts at the moment, but we may need to run a diagnostic. This doesn't look like a legitimate target.
Now, that one-man covert operation, that is actually not a mission that we can play right now. Instead, Resilius is now only in the process of infiltrating the cell. That process takes a few days, after which we then have the actual mission. And we will be able to send in more soldiers than just Resilius on that mission. However, unlike his companions, Resilius will of course only be equipped with a pistol and no armor. But we'll take care of that when it's time to. For now, we can continue scanning. And here we now have the completion of Precision Lasers, a research project that I had been waiting for a while, because it finally allows us to purchase laser sniper rifles as well as laser shotguns. The shotgun equivalent is called the Scatter Laser, and next to the damage increase it also has a slightly better accuracy over medium range compared to the regular shotgun, while the laser sniper rifle also comes with a damage increase as well as with an improved chance for a critical hit. Needless to say, both weapons will definitely be useful, especially in the hands of the right soldiers. For the time being though, we can focus on the next research project, and that is going to be the Arc Thrower. We are already in the process of building the Alien Containment facility, and this right here is the device that we will actually use on the battlefield to capture aliens. And the earlier we start doing that, the higher the chance that we will actually be able to capture one of every single kind of alien, which is not even an achievement, but in true completionist fashion still a goal for this playthrough.
I appreciate your efforts to support the research team, Commander. I've already put the new recruits to work in the lab. I have difficulty understanding how such an advanced species could show so little empathy for the lives of other sentient beings. It goes against everything we have ever imagined. The technology is there, but with it comes a callousness we would never have expected. What could have brought them to this?
So, after a few wise words from Dr. Valen, the science team goes to work. In 3 days we will finish the containment cell, and in 4 days we'll have the Arc Thrower, so the timing works very nicely here. So let's see if anything happens in the meantime and continue scanning.
Alien Containment Facility online.
Alright, no interruptions, and now we have an Alien Containment Facility. For the moment, however, we can't do anything with it, and we also don't have any other building projects, so we can simply start the scanner again and hope that the arc thrower is next. And indeed it is, we now actually have everything we need to capture an alien alive. And this is also where the tactical rigging upgrade from the Foundry will come in handy, because an extra item slot for everyone means that we can carry the arc thrower into battle without having to sacrifice anything else. For now though, our research team is waiting for new orders, and while we could now task them with some of the more lengthy, more intriguing projects, we will instead once again go with the one at the top here, the Alien Nav Computer. This unlocks a new facility, basically a more powerful satellite uplink, and it's also the basis for another very interesting research project. With a research time of only 6 days, this project will finish before the end of the month, so we should be able to build that new facility in the upcoming month of June. And that's all we can do for now. We will not buy any weapons or the arc thrower until the next mission pops up, simply because we never know what comes up next and we might need the cash for something else.
Excavation complete.
However, it seems like we will see some action now, as we have another round of alien abductions appear, and let's see what we're dealing with.
Commander, we've picked up multiple requests for assistance. Abductions in progress are marked on the hologlobe.
Alright, Russia, China and Egypt have been hit. From Russia, we could get 4 engineers, which would definitely make the next satellite uplink a little easier, while China offers 4 scientists in a very difficult mission, but considering how we are currently unlocking more and more research projects, those scientists could definitely be valuable as well. From Egypt, we could then get a captain-level support soldier. However, because of its low panic level, Egypt is not an option. As a matter of fact, we really only have one option here, and that is to go to Asia, more specifically China. Because if we don't do that, all 4 Asian countries will panic, and even if we send satellites to all of them at the end of the month, Japan already has one, so there is no guarantee of a panic reduction there. Yes, we could play it risky and hope that even with a maxed out panic level the country stays part of the XCOM project at the end of the month, but playing it risky is not really the MO for this playthrough, so we will go to Asia here to prevent any potential problems. Now, before we head out, we will of course make the necessary purchases, but before we can do that, we need to head to the grey market first. Here we will sell 2 units of Illyrium and 3 alien alloys for the grand total of 12 credits, which gives us just enough to buy everything we need. And for starters, that would be a laser sniper rifle. Yes, Rosilius is not coming with us for this mission, thus avoiding him for the Ain't No Cavalry Coming achievement, but Sniper George Teasdale will take his place, and he can certainly use this weapon. We will also purchase a scatter laser for Assault Adam Work, and because we did that, we will also purchase an arc thrower now. Yes, those 2 things actually have a connection. You will see in just a moment what I mean by that. We are now left with only 1 single credit in the bank, but we have everything we need to get this mission started. Again, we are traveling to China for this one, just like we did for all of the Operation Slingshot DLC missions, by the way. And we're going there with more or less the usual 6-person squad, again, of course, without Rosilius Wargull, but instead with Sniper George Teasdale. Speaking of George, with him we have to make some slight adjustments. Most importantly, we will have to give him a better weapon. I will show you a quick stats comparison of the regular and the laser sniper rifle, with the latter being the one that George will carry into battle. As you can see here, a guaranteed hit with that weapon now does at least 5 points of damage. A critical, meanwhile, can do up to 11 points, with the headshot ability up to 13. For some extra protection, we will also give George a set of carapace armor. After all, Rosilius doesn't need it as long as he's infiltrating the Exalt cell. Up next, we then have Assault Adam Work, who will switch from the regular shotgun over to the scatter laser. The damage values for that scatter laser are the same as they are for the laser sniper rifle. However, this type of shotgun also increases Adam's effective range, which up until now had been a bit of a weakness for him. Now you can also see that we just lost the item slot down here, and that is because Reaper rounds can only be applied to conventional weapons. However, the scatter laser is not a conventional weapon, and therefore we now have an item slot open. And for that exact reason we bought the arc thrower earlier, which will now go into Adam's item slot. He can use it up to 2 times per mission for a chance to stun and potentially capture an alien. However, in order to do that, we have to get him up close and personal, but then again, that has never been a problem for him. Now, because of Adam's will rating of 71, we will also make some changes to the squad leader role. I talked a bit about this in the last episode. Basically, we want the soldier with the highest will rating to be our squad leader. And after the completion of the last episode, that is now Shoji Zhang, who in the last episode got promoted to colonel as well, and currently sports a tremendously high will rating of 86. So he will now be our new squad leader, and that means that everyone who stays close to him will get that same rating, which hopefully reduces the chances of anyone panicking in this mission. And with that, I would say we are thoroughly prepared. Let us once again travel over to China now and see what the aliens have in store for us.
Central, this is Big Sky. Strike team is touching down now. Standing by for your orders.
Roger, Big Sky. Reading you 5 by 5. Strike 1 has the green light for deployment.
Alright, as we get going here, let me say this is a mission where I don't really care as much about everyone getting their fair share of kills, but more about getting everyone out alive and uninjured, because in just a few days we have that covert operation with Resilius coming up, and I would like to take our strongest squad for that and not have to substitute anyone for a rookie. Now, we already discovered the first melt container with a quick glance across the map, so let's start things off by moving Adam a little closer in that direction.
On the move. That's what we're looking for. Here they come.
Alright, we're off to a good start it seems. First move, first group of hostiles, but luckily only 3 sectoids. We also learn that we have 4 turns to recover the meld, and looking at the enemies we can see that only one of them is currently within range. So that means we can probably set up a good Overwatch trap here, but first let's move both Emilia and George a little closer and into cover. Heavy Shoji meanwhile will take a full dash to potentially launch a rocket on the next turn, but also to get closer to the meld. Andrea will go into full cover, also anticipating that we might have to use a rocket in a few moments, while Nicholas will stay in the middle of everyone, provide a defense boost and present himself as a target. Up next, we will put everyone on Overwatch, however with Adam we will still use the pistol for that. Over this distance, even with his new and improved shotgun, the pistol is probably the better choice. With Emilia meanwhile, we will deploy a smoke grenade around everyone in our squad, simply because we don't want to take any risks this early on. That brings us to the sectoid's turn, and we have a mind merge going on and then some movement. That triggers a reaction shot from Adam, who does 2 points of damage with his laser pistol, and the sectoid then goes on Overwatch itself. Number 3 makes a move as well, triggering reaction shots from Nicholas and Andrea, and even though our heavy misses, our mech trooper finds its target. So, 1 sectoid down, another one injured and another one hiding. A fairly good start to this mission, I would say. Now, since that 1 sectoid is on Overwatch, we will not make a move here and instead take a shot with Emilia. Her 70% hit chance is good enough, and if that doesn't work, we still have explosives or Adam's lightning reflexes. However, we don't have to use either one of those as the sectoid goes down and we now only have 1 left. However, that one is hidden in the shadows, so let's move closer and try to get a visual.
Target acquired.
And lovely, Adam moves for the 2nd time, and also for the 2nd time he reveals another nest of sectoids. Now, their final position here is almost begging for a rocket. Sadly though, we can't hit all 4 at once, but 2 will still do nicely. Lovely, now ideally we get one of those remaining 2 with the arc thrower, so at this point we don't actually want to be too aggressive and avoid killing them both.
Visual on the goods.
On his way into a better position, George also reveals the 2nd melt container, but we still have plenty of time left for that one. Now George will go on Overwatch, meanwhile Shoji will move over to the next car here, which will get him into position to grab the melt on the next turn. Nicholas will once again go to the front lines to present a good target and provide a defense boost, and at this point we can put everyone on this side of the truck on Overwatch. Adam, however, will now switch back to the shotgun. I think we are close enough for that to be effective. Over on the right side, meanwhile, we will activate suppression fire with Shoji, which thanks to his mayhem ability already does 1 point of damage here, and will hopefully keep the sectoid from moving or landing a shot. And indeed it seems like that sectoid is not going to move, however the one further in the back does. A risky endeavor considering we have 3 overwatches ready, and you can see the results right here. Adam hits with his shotgun over quite a bit of distance. However, the subsequent misses by Nicholas and George are enough to break down the wall here, which reveals a group of floaters. Since this only counts as their activation turn, they don't actually attack, and instead only move into what they feel are the best positions for them. However, I would say their decision-making skills have to be questioned, because the 2 on the left side here have moved into perfect range of Nicholas's flamethrower.
Initiating flamethrower assault.
And here we are, 2 grilled floaters, leaving us with only 1 to go along with the sectoid. Again, I want to avoid killing the sectoid for now, but the floater is fair game, so let's see if George here can hit a 54% headshot. Okay, the shot goes wide, and that means it's time for the backup plan. I said in the beginning we're trying to get out of here as safely as possible, so we are now using Shoji's rocket on the floater. We will, however, make sure to only hit the floater and not the sectoid. Again, that one should ideally survive to be captured later.
This should take care of it.
Okay, it really looks like our enemies don't have a knack for good positioning today, as Shoji's rocket gets a triple kill on 3 unknown aliens in the shadows on the right, and here we are, moving the mouse across the screen shows that this was another group of floaters. Coincidentally, it was also the 4th and final group of aliens we had not yet revealed, meaning our lone sectoid here is in fact the last enemy of the mission. Now, in order to stun and capture it, we have to get close as indicated by that small blue circle, and unfortunately we can't use run and gun to do that on this turn, because run and gun does not allow the use of items, which the arc thrower is. So instead we'll have to go with a simple dash into full cover directly opposite of the sectoid, while the rest of the squad can basically do whatever they want, as long as we don't use Overwatch, because of course that could kill the sectoid on its turn. The sectoid itself then takes a shot at the easiest target available, and that is of course Mech Trooper Nicholas Mahoney, who suffers 3 points of damage but can easily take the hit. Now, at this point, we could already order Adam to use the stun ability, but as you can see here, we only have a 70% success chance. That's good, but can still be improved if we can manage to reduce the sectoid's health even further without killing it. And an ability that can do that is Disabling Shot, which if it hits will do either 1 or 2 points of damage. Yes, the chance to hit is low, but let's see if it still works. Alright, 1 point of damage. I had hoped for 2 there. Alternatively, we could have also used a pistol shot with Emilia, but I would say an 80% stun chance is good enough to give it a go.
Excellent. Now we can begin preparing for the interrogation.
Chalk up another one.
And here we are, the alien is captured, the mission is completed, and we unlock the Prisoner of War achievement. This was a quick and easy one, exactly the type of mission I had hoped for, and so with a live sectoid in our hands, we will now return to the base.
I'm continually impressed by the work of our soldiers. They seem to be extremely efficient.
Back in the base, we have no promotions for anyone, so let's take a closer look at our loot.
I know it wasn't easy, but this could really be a turning point in our research. Not only can we interrogate the subject, but bringing an alien back alive provides us with a much better understanding of their physiology. Impressive work indeed. Preparations in the containment facility are well underway.
Right, so since we captured a sectoid, we can now interrogate it as a research project. However, since we captured it, we also recovered its intact plasma pistol, which we can now not only use right away, but also research how to manufacture it to make it available to everyone in the squad. Apart from that, we of course recovered the usual corpses, weapon fragments and meld, and of course our sectoid captive, who we will definitely have a closer look at very soon. Now, let's not forget this was an abduction mission, however in the end we did the abducting, but because it was, we receive our well-deserved reward, namely 4 scientists as well as a panic decrease in China.
We will be in touch, Commander.
And here we are now, and I would say with a sectoid captured, 1 credit in the bank and nearing the end of the month, we have reached a very good point to make the cut. In the next episode, we will very likely launch our very first covert operation, and depending on how things go, we may also be able to fit the next council report into that video. For today, we have once again reached the end. So if you enjoyed the episode, then I would be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up, and also don't forget to participate in the giveaway if you're interested. Apart from that, if you want to support me and my channel further, then you can of course subscribe if you haven't already. Alternatively, you can of course also check out and maybe pledge to the Pete Complete Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.